Hey everyone, I'm so excited to have you join us today. If you enjoy, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's video, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our future content. We're building an awesome community here, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. There was a hiding sub-quest? The players were surprised once again by the sudden appearance of a sub-quest, especially considering the generous rewards it offered. For players who hadn't even collected 3,000 gold throughout the 5 wives, it was enticing. They said, "We will get 3,000 gold if we survive. Didn't they say we'd get 2,000 gold if we protect the relic? Then we get more from this," Ryu said silently. "A bigger reward than cleaning the 5 wave. That's the reason why I used Ryumin to break the relic. Whoever the reason why I didn't break the relic, the reason become apparent through a message that appeared shortly after. It has been confirmed that the relic had been attacked by players, distributing penalties to the 10 players who attacked the relic. All stats will be decreased by 50% permanently. The 10 players, including the ones from Ryumin's clique, cried out in anger. It felt unfair especially since they didn't do it willingly. The members of his clique glared at Ryumin with resentment. Ryumin said, "Sorry, I didn't know that penalty like this would exist." Ryumin apologized, but it wasn't the time to worry about others. The region representative will also receive a penalty to take responsibility for not being able to protect the relic. All stats will be decreased by 50% permanently. Ryumin was left speechless, his expression felt with loss. He never ever dreamed that he will receive penalties himself as the district representative. Except for Ryu, of course. That's why he hesitated to become the district representative. A permanent decrease in stats was fatal, directly impacting survival. It even affects the potential of the player's growth. He hadn't warned against becoming a region representative without reason. Not breaking the relic by himself was also to avoid penalties. Ryu immediately opened the shop window and purchased it 2,000 gold items. First, he acquired Assassin's Hood. Description: a hood that an assassin liked to wear. It hasn't been washed, and it is drenched with the smell of blood. Next, he obtained Agile Long Boots. Description: a slim, long boots. They look like they would be uncomfortable, but are unexpectedly comfortable to wear. Ryu dragged the item from his inventory and placed into the slot. Main ingredient: skull bone necklace. Sub-ingredients: low-grade purple magic stone. Filing all the sub-ingredient slots wasn't necessary. Once he was ready, pressed the combination button. Combination successful. Skeletal necklace has been imbued with all stats +1. Without hesitation, Ryu proceeded to combine magic stones with other equipment. He had 2 magic stones and his inventory 1 blue and 1 orange option from hunting in this round. Combination successful. With the low-grade blue magic stone, he obtained damage reduction, and with the low-grade orange magic stone, his strength stat increased. Ryu said, "They're the lowest rank magic crystals, so they won't be of huge help, but it's better than nothing." Once all the preparation were complete with the magic stone combinations, a purple cloud began to gather over the players. They said, "Is it starting? I feel a little nervous. Let's survive for 30 minutes. That's right, we can just run around and dodge it." Ryu said silently, "Well, it won't be easy to run away from the proxy of divine retribution. During my previous attempts, only about 500 survived from the 2,700 remained. Even just trying to survive is extremely difficult. Normally, the proxy of divine retribution is a monster that can only be barely different with 5 level 40 players working together. But I'm planning on killing it here and obtain the best reward possible. I have the title I received after killing Burial. The title, the First Angel Slayer. Effect of doubling all starts when going against Scared Being and the proxy of divine retribution. The sky tore open and a pillar of light descended to the ground. Emerging under the spotlight was none other than an angel, a celestial being. Cloaked in a judge-like attire and a robe that concealed the face, their gender remained indistinguishable. The size of this angel's wings was astounding. However, players are unaware of those facts, could only stare in awe. They said, "Is that the proxy of divine retribution? We just need to survive by dodging that? Isn't it this too easy?" As majestic as their wings were, the harbinger of the divine punishment's appearance was similar to an ordinary human. Ryumin said, "Damn, I got scared for nothing." The harbinger of divine punishment shook its stuff, and bells attached to its end emitted a sound. The angel, leisurely leaning on the staff, suddenly stomped on the ground. Simultaneously, a purple aura emanated the staff's tip. The proxy of divine retribution has cast restriction field. Until the caster lifts the spell, no one can leave the area. All stats of players within the field will be decreased by 50%. Ryu said, "Beat about 300 players get caught? It's unfortunate, but those 300 players won't be saved." Naturally, Ryu himself reminded outside the barrier. The harbinger of divine punishment unfurled its wings. Simultaneously, countless arrows of light materialized around their wings. Their numbers easily exceeded 200. Ryu said, "It started." Ryu averted his gaze as if there was nothing to see. The arrows flew like beams of light piercing through the players' bodies. The players said, "This is insane. How can we even dodge those? It's hard to even track them with my eyes." Ryu said, "Restrictions field. If you are trapped in one, it's next to impossible to dodge the arrows of light. But looking at it from another perspective, it's nothing special if you can dodge them. Now's the chance since it's distracted." As expected, it's so focused on killing humans that it's not even caring about its back. The moment the barrier falls, I will ambush it. Unnoticed by the entity, Ryu circled around the barrier, positioning himself behind it. In the meantime, a party of death was taking place in the circular dome. Players were helplessly killed by countless arrows of light. When Ryu found a hole in the barrier, he said, "Now, then," he rushed towards the angel. He said too, "I don't need to worry about it turning around. This guy doesn't have ears." As Ryu closed in on the relatively short distance, he leaped high into the air. The seal of death was already engraved. Ryu said, "I need to deal a critical hit won the first attack." At the moment, as if it felt a shadow descending from above, the angle finally locked up. Ryu said, "You just noticed, and it too late now." Ryu's scythe struck the angel's eyeball faster than expected. When Ryu landed from his aerial somersault, the harbinger of divine punishment clutches his eye. Ryu said, "Its remaining health that I can see through insignia of death is about 60%. Dealing 40% of it healthy in one attack isn't bad at all. No, it's cast the field again to try and find me." The harbinger of divine punishments conjured a purple barrier once again. Even though it was an attempt to trap him, Ryu anticipated it and swiftly evaded. Ryu said, "However, the moment it realized that it didn't catch anyone, it'll deactivate the field. Since I took one eye already, I will take the remaining of as well." The angel screamed in agony and anger, immediately costing the field once more. The stats of the players inside the field are reduced by 50%. Through Ryu's movement, slowed to the stat reduction. It didn't faze him. He said, "It doesn't matter. With both of its eyes gone, it's just an excellent sandbag for me." The harbinger of divine punishment spread his massive wings. Unable to see his opponent, he launched of light all directions, intending to kill. Ryu unleashed the night of death. Countless beams of light vanished like extinguished candles. The light was swallowed by the darkness. Ryu raised his scythe and said, "Light cannot beat darkness, because that is how it is set in the system of this world. So let's end this here." Confused, the harbinger of divine punishment swung his staff. But Ryu had already invaded, moving behind him, making it impossible to land a hit. To prevent that creature from fleeing, Ryo decided to start by severing its wings. After a few strikes, the angel's wings fell to the ground. The creature screamed in agony, but 2 wings remained. Without hesitation, Ryo swung his scythe again. Both wings were torn asunder. Ryo said, "His healed is down to 10%. Now I will create some distance and avoid killing it." The body of the Harbinger of Divine Punishment emitted a golden light. Conditions met. Proxy of Niven, very turbation's passive, brilliant, final radiance actives. Ryo said, "This is phase it entres when it drops below 10%. If I'd already decapitated it, then I wouldn't be able to kill it later." The Harbinger of Divine Punishment swung his staff like crazy. Ryo watched the scene leisurely from afar. 1 minute passed, and then the immunity was cancelled. The light that was emitting disappeared. Ryo pushed toward him. Ryo's scythe gracefully danced through the air. The Harbinger of Divine Punishment's head fell, severed in an instant. You have defeated the proxy of Divine Retribution. You have leveled up. It has been confirmed that you are the first player to defeat the proxy of Divine Retribution. The title, Defier of Divine Punishment, has been awarded. You have awarded Condensed Ether and Radiance Rune for the first proxy of Divine Retribution kill. The acquired rune has been automatically imprinted on the player's body. Among the flood of messages, Ryo's attention was drawn to an item, and he said, "As expected, I received Condensed Ether. You would say this was my only reason for killing that proxy of Divine Retribution. Condensed Ether is required to make a rank item. I was also given the Radiance Rune. Since I am level 30, my intelligence and skill effect should increase by 30 and 30% respectively. I won't need to invest in intelligence for a while." As the remaining time dwindled, a message popped up. Hidden subquest complete. You will receive a reward of 3,000 gold. Not only Ryo, but also the other players received this reward. However, some players gazed at Ryo with a mix of awe and fear. And they said, "Black Scythe single-handedly killed proxy of Divine Retribution. What a monster! After all, no one expected someone to single-handedly slay the Harbinger of Divine Punishment." Even the angel were taken aback, and she said, "This is incredible. Defending the proxy of Divine Retribution by yourself. This is the first time that I alive have truly acknowledged a human. Shall we conduct a brief interview? Player Black Scythe, what did you want to tell proxy of Divine Retribution?" Ryo said silently, "This slut asking some necessary question." Ryo, who didn't want to engage in a lengthy conversation, offered a simple response. "Because I wanted to. You'd receive a reward if you just survived, but you risked it all because you wanted to." Ryo's response was, "I couldn't just stand there and watch it slaughter people." Through his reply was only to evade the question. It made the other players admire him even more. His stepped forward to save people. "I thought he'd be arrogant because he's strong. But is he actually a sweet guy? He has a good personality." The angel said, "Stepped forward to save your peers. You humans are as odd as I heard. You can somehow ignore all the times you were at each other's throats and are now united. That's quite hard for me to understand." Ryo flashed an awkward smile and said, "Yeah, what would you egoist angel know?" Angel said, "Anyway, you've worked hard to survive, but it's too soon for you to relax. Remember, your elimination will be decided based on your total performance. Should we look at the results?" After a while, the results of the 3rd round were revealed. I'm undoubtedly Black Scythe claimed first place. The results of the totally left everyone astounded, and they said, Black Scythe killed 3,600 by himself. Second place wasn't even other to get 1,000. Dose it seriously say he's level 30. Did he get an experience boost or something? The vast difference in levels left everyone speechless. Except for Ryo, the person in question, and he said, "I did get an experience boost that you would only know about it if you placed first in all regions. Congratulations! You have achieved first place in the specific area quest. Congratulations! You have achieved first place in the overall region quest. The current rank of Black Scythes is first place in the overall region and first place in the specific area. As the first place in the specific area ranking, you will receive the intermediate rare ring selection voucher as a reward. As the first place in the overall region ranking, you will receive the special reward selection box as a reward. An intermediate rare ring selection voucher has arrived. Ryo said, "This is the mid-rank ring ticket." Without hesitation, Ryo immediately used the received reward. You may select one of the rain listed: Ring of Swift Wind, Ring of Blue Magic, Ring of Resistance. Ryo's finger moved swiftly without hesitation, and he said, "It might seem the weakest based on name alone. I'll select the Ring of Resistance. Ring of Resistance. Category: Ring. Grade: Rare. Effect: Luck +4. Resistance +35%. Durability: 450-450. Usage restriction: regular grade or higher. Description: a ring that provides resistance against debuff status. Ryo said, "It doesn't matter how high your stats are, getting hit by a status effect means death. Resistance isn't something that you can increase with stats, so it's better for me to have this now, even if I don't use it for the time being." Next, Ryo opens the special reward selection box. Ryo said, "As expected, there's no experience 3x buff. The goal of the 4th round isn't to kill monsters after all." Without a moment's hesitation, Ryo chooses option 2, the gold. Then the angel said, "Well, humans, have you had time to check your individual rankings? The cutoff is rank 1225. Miss Angel, please wait. I think the system calculations are wrong. Please check again. I defeat a ton of them. There's no way my ranking is this low." While players who didn't make it into the top ranks voiced their concerns, the angel ignored them. Angel proceeds to mercilessly annihilate them. Among the 2,400 survivors from the wave, half of them vanish. Round 3 concluded. Survivors: 214,007,550. Specific area ESKS 455. Survivors: 1,225. After a while, your soul will return to your original dimension. Round 4 will commence on April 1st, 2022 at midnight. Until then, congratulations on surviving. Aaron opened her eyes and surveyed her surrounding. She said, "I'm back. I survived round 3 as well." But it wasn't just surviving this time. She had even acquired the job of a summoner. Seizing the opportunity, she decided to use her skills once again. "Summon Fairy," Aaron said. "I was able to safely complete round 3. Thanks to these cute fairies creating a barrier, and because my bodyguard drew the enemy's attention. There's also one more thing: I was ranked in the top 3. She also received a reward known as the Purple Mastery Stone." Curiously piqued, Aaron took out the Purple Mastery Stone and examined it from various angels, and she said, "I wonder Black Scythe would like this magic crystal I received for my reward." Upon returning to reality, Ryumin's first action was to open his status window. Penalty has been applied. All stats have permanently decreased by 50%. Regret washed over Ryumin's face. If only he hadn't commanded the relic to be destroyed. At that moment, his phone vibrated. お前はもう死んでいる。